They have a certain year to completely alter the course of this world. They set the goal for 2025.
Hi family, welcome to the channel once again. This is Brother Prince. Thank you for being there and being very active on the channel. Family, in this sermon, we are going to hear Pastor Chris urge the church that you have to pray. Family, he revealed the agenda of the enemy for 2024 as well as 2025. This sermon is in twofold, family. So the first part of the sermon, Pastor Chris explains how the enemy have planned for the church to dominate and to take charge. You know, Pastor Chris began preaching this years ago. Even during the COVID era, he made mention the agenda of the enemy, of the Illuminati and the Freemasons. And family, we are seeing these things and they are clear. Now, we are going to hear Pastor Chris speak on this same matter. Family, let us listen as he speaks on the first part. Before the sermon starts, if you are new here, subscribe and be part of the family. Let us listen, family.
Let me remind you of some things that I told you in 2021. Well, 2020 and 2021. I did tell you that the perpetrators of, it was planned. It was planned for evil, not for good. They have a certain year in which they hope to completely alter the course of this world. And this is from the occult. Incidentally, there are professionals and even politicians and those of the elitist categories of society who have no clue. They're just clueless. They don't realize that these plans are satanic. They don't know. They're listening to those that are recognized as the world's intelligentsia. And so they just assume that these are coming from some good ideas and from some people who just want to do nice things. But they are wrong. These things are stated very clearly in the Bible. And so they have a plan to completely change how this world runs. Now, you've heard the term again and again, a new world order. Many don't understand what that is. But sometime in, I think it was 2022, the latter part, the ending part of 2022, they announced that they had started a new world order. Of course, it failed. I told you it was going to fail. It failed. Now, this one is still part of the global plan for a new world order, except that it is so satanic and so evil. If you knew the details of the plans. And it's the same groups that were responsible for COVID-19 and its associated wicked restrictions. They want to do this. They set the goal for 2025. And they plan this from different perspectives. In other words, they intend, whether or not they get what they want in 24, their plan is that in 2025, this world will not be as you have known it. Complete devastation is what they have written down.
As family, as you all heard from Pastor Chris, so in the second part of the video, he made a mention that they have three main ways by which they are going to dominate the whole world, but their really agenda is in 2025. He made mention that they will try three things, and those are the phases of their domination. Let us listen, family. This will really inform you. In the second half, he also had to plead to the church that let us all come together and pray. This is a humble plea. Let us watch, family, as Pastor Chris tells us these things.
So their plan is to accelerate everything in 2024 so that they can achieve their goal in 2025. 2025 is their deadline. And they do plan mass annihilation across the world. And a plan to take over nations in the most extraordinary way. In 2024, this year, is when they plan to do it by negotiation and intimidation. I told you they have three steps. Number one is negotiation. If negotiation fails, they go to number two, intimidation. And if intimidation fails, they go to number three, annihilation. You're dealing with some of the most vicious minds this world has ever produced. And that is why I call on God's people to pray. This year, we'll have to pray. We'll have to schedule our praying and sometimes also fast. All right? See, not just about ourselves, but for the world. Because most of the world is ignorant. They don't know what's going on because they don't know what the Bible says. They don't understand Bible prophecy. They have no idea. So they're working in 2024 by negotiations and intimidations to try to get their way through. Very vicious, because they want to ensure that they get things done ahead of 2025, which is that deadline for the most atrocious acts that this world has ever known. I have a couple of other things to tell you, but that will be during your Love World specials. So let us keep in prayer. Remember what I told you about the unending praise and the prayer-thon, which is the unending prayers. Praying without ceasing, as the Bible says. We have to. We have to. So in your church, have prayer meetings. Leaders need to join together to pray, because what they planned in 2020, I must tell you, because it failed, the date is 2025. All right? 2025. And they're putting everything on the line. Everything. They're putting everything on the line. I can tell you what I believe will happen, but not today.
As you all heard from Pastor Chris, family, so this is the agenda of the enemy for this year. as well as next year, family. And I love it the way Pastor Chris made mention that as Christians you have to pray. You know, we are praying against a cunning enemy, an enemy that can orchestrate and plan for years. And it is only prayer that can help us, family. It's only prayer. So as a body of Christ, you have to come together and pray. And you know, prayer really works. This is what Pastor Chris is asking for, that the church will be one, you know, and focus on the enemy and fight the enemy. But the issue is that we are not one. The church is divided. That is our problem, and we are fighting against each other. And this is what the enemy wants us to do. He wants us to fight against each other. Then he will creep in, then overtake the world. But let us come together as one and pray. And we believe that God is going to thwart their plans. God bless you, family, for watching. I'll see you in the next video. God richly bless you. Bye bye.